Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Washington football team. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Brings up second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
70 Lions!
Down to lose one.
Trap 60, trap 60.
They'll set up a throw.
I got you.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limited to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And take it right on the 30. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Mike 5-2. You got nothing today.
Lawrence. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
55's mine, guys.
Here's Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So, Charles, this, game number 2 in the NFL career, this rookie quarterback, his guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things, and they like the fact that he's not blaming other people because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games, that's when you begin to grow as a quarterback.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
He'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And it's 3-0 Washington. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action now. Lawrence. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Them have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Tyson Campbell up to make the stop.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to have it here at their own 15. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
2nd down at 4.
Go, go, go.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Ain't no such thing as a hey, echo.
Now Lawrence. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Lawrence. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Hey, Team 6, Team 6. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Mike 5-5.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Lawrence. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. Touchdown!
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Amari Cooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Washington 3.
McCann's got it teed up. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
My game, strip the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Washington 3.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Mike 2, watch 2, watch 2. They gonna need some therapy.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
44, Mike, 44.
Here's a give to Gibson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Von Miller in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Got it. Go! 18 Gator. Let's go. Check 4.
A handoff for Etienne. And he loses the football a second time. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
We live for this.
And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here, because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
They'll run with Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Back to throw. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football, but on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky, because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick six territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
55 is mine, guys. 55. Too little, cupcake.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Taken from just outside the 30. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line.
And the Washington first down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Mike 8. Mike 8.
Yeah. You don't want none.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down, 3 down.
79 Bronco.
Back to throw again. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Choose the mic.
They run the toss now with Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
Well,
This was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And this one is right through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. Here I come, here I come. Warrior 70. Watch that.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch here, left side, Thomas. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
Come on, D. Say, Cup 19, Cup 19, take over.
They'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes this a 9-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these 2 teams is going to get their first win. And for the call, let's kick it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second? The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I'm here all day.
Hey, Haywood!
Hey, check 5, check 5. Watch the divide.
Get it!
From the gun, it's Lawrence. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for Jacksonville. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you.
Mike 19. Mike.
Yeah.
Now Lawrence. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Down. 90, Wolf.
I'm coming.
New Mike 52.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Rolling to his right.
Watch his flag. Watch his flag.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Hey, box drop.
Mike 55. Check.
2nd down and goal. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. On first down, Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They're scared. Choose the mic.
That's Samuel, caught left side. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
There we go.
A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play, because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 18. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 91 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Gibson will take this one in. Touchdown, Washington. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense.
Hey, exit.
52, Mike 52. Go.
Now Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Fighting through it. He's got space. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic.
Lawrence will throw.
Push him back.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Washington on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And now here is another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Taking a shot for Samuel. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you little... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 27. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8. Eight.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Roll! 44's the mic. 44's mic. Hey, check that.
They'll try to run with Gibson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
My game. Come to
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. They'll try to run it with Gibson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Lawrence. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
My game, my game. Here we go,
And they will take a knee here. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second.